spend 5-6K on designer clothes. I'd spend 8-9K on a holiday.
But I'd share that even though I am a very financially literate 20-something-year-old, I still struggle with my finances.
Most men don't even realize they've wasted their 20s financially until it's too late. And it's not even the flashy spending or the bad investments that actually do the most damage. It's what they don't do that does, and what costs them the most. Which is why I made this video for you, my friends, so you can watch it, so you're not next. If you're new here, hello my friends, my name is Vic. I'm a registered nurse and a certified life coach turned personal finance strategist. And I made this channel specifically for ambitious men only who want to get smarter with their money and avoid years of financial mistakes, because I know I've made a few myself. And just to be clear, nothing here is investment or financial advice. It's based purely on all of my own personal experience that I've learned over the years. I practice everything I preach, and it's all for educational purposes only. Let's dive straight into the video. Please subscribe and share.
Spend 5-6K on designer clothes. I'd spend 8-9K on a holiday. I'd spend 12-13K on cars, all in the name of looking like I was like gone. If I use that same money to invest aggressively into assets, properties, whatever the case may be, like it's night and day. You would use the money that you generate from that to pay for the nice things. And that's one thing that a lot of rich people, that's what they have. We use our income to spend money on these things. They use their passive income. So they use their income to invest in assets, and then they use the money that they make from those assets to pay for the nice things. But we have it inverted, and I don't know if I did a good job of explaining that, but that was one of my biggest things. I would look at rich people, yeah, the designer, and I'll use my income to just spend straight away rather than actually using that same money to buy assets.
I'm not going to shame this guy at all, because at the end of the day, we've all made mistakes. I know I've made massive mistakes, which I'm sure you guys will find out in the duration of this lovely YouTube journey we're on at some point in the future, but not today. At the end of the day, it depends on what your investing ethos is in regards to your actual belief in investing. Like funds have different mission statements. Some are for the long term, some are for the short term, some are for more risky investments, some are for safer investments. There's many different varieties, and depending on what your mission is, will depend on what you should invest in. Like this guy saying, in terms of property will give you passive income, sure, although let's be honest, from my opinion, no passive income is entirely passive, ever. The only income I would argue is pretty passive, although I don't personally do it myself just because I don't want to, because I prefer investing more in the long haul rather than being paid dividends, is, well, I just said it, dividend payments and dividend investments. Investing in companies and stocks like Coca-Cola for them to be paying you a dividend yield every single year in exchange for the investment that you made over time into their company. And again, that's a great way, and it can definitely give you passive income. Although the only disadvantage of that is that you need to put substantial amount in, like a good 6 figures, to even be able to generate a reasonable 3-figure amount per month. You have to decide what your game is, my friend. And my personal goal and my game is the long haul investing. Why is it that? It's because of the fact that I want freedom. I want to know that I'm financially okay no matter what happens, and the money's sitting there in my account growing over time, ready for my retirement, continuously growing. And then the income I get, I can actually decide whether I want to go on holiday or not. And I don't need to use this money until later on. And obviously the disadvantage of that is who gets to say I get to live to that age. But even regardless of that, I've made my beneficiaries my family relatives, so it doesn't really matter. This is what I'm saying. It all depends on your own mission statement in life and how you feel most fulfilled and how you feel good. Because for me, I really value the financial freedom aspect from completely being not stressed, because I feel the biggest stressor in our life is finance and not actually having enough money to be able to pay for things, or having enough money but not being able to put aside enough money ready for your retirement. And it's a big stress, 100%. Given everything I've said, it would be really interesting to hear your investing mission. Do you prefer investing in property? Do you prefer investing into dividends and receiving dividend payouts? Or is your aim like mine, which is simply just financial peace of mind? Because I feel it makes me significantly less stressed. As I aforementioned just now, finance, in my opinion, is the biggest stressor. And especially as a man, in my own opinion, who needs to lead and provide for their loved ones and their family, it is literally our role to understand and know how to do this, and to be able to educate the people around us and our loved ones to be able to do it as well.
Thought I'd share that even though I am a very financially literate 20-something-year-old, I still struggle with my finances, like everyone does in your 20s. You've got to think, in your 20s, you've got to pay for a car, you've got to buy a car, you don't own a car, then you've got to buy a house at some point, hopefully. You might want to go travelling. Your friends are doing loads in the 20s, so you've got loads of things that you're constantly getting bombarded and you don't want to miss out on. So even if you're financially savvy. I still struggle with making sure I manage everything. So don't be stressed out in your 20s if you don't feel like you're succeeding at everything. The best thing to do is start small. If all you can afford to invest is £50 a month, get the habit in, start the ball rolling, and prioritize other things. I understand people need to save up for a house and buy a car. Do that. I'm not going to tell you not to do that. But what I would say is just be careful what you're doing. Don't start getting things that you can't really afford, cars on finance. But get a nice car. If you want to save up and get like 8, 9, 10 grand car, and that's what you want, and it's going to be reliable, then do that. Or if you want to go traveling, I'm all about saving and investing, but I'm going traveling for 6 months this year, and that obviously is a massive hit to my finances. But for me, it's worth it. So don't be stressed if you feel like you've got too many things juggling. Just do your best. That's all you can do. If you budget and you know how much money's coming in, how much is coming out, that takes a lot of stress out of it. And just try your best. That's literally all you can do.
The truth is, my friends, we all struggle with our finances regardless of what happens. The whole point is to have a plan, but you make do with what you have. I'm not saying you should do this, but for me personally, and I go through this more in my online community as well, and we actually can talk about it more there, but just for now, so you understand what I personally do, I think can help you potentially transform it as well, is 50% of my disposable income goes towards essential fixed costs. Currently 20% I invest in my disposable income every single month towards my SIP, which is my investing costs. I'm still saving round about 10% every single month, just so it keeps on building, just in case if I need more money rather than my emergency fund, or like to be able to go on holiday, or if I need some money down for a new car or whatever, stuff like this. Although currently I am mostly focusing on buying a house. My fund money, I try to do around about 10% every single month, and the rest I just put towards a house, because I'm really trying to be as aggressive as humanly possible towards the house, so I can have the opportunity to actually be able to buy a house as quickly as possible. What I'll do then when I actually have the money for a deposit, because personally I want 20-25% down for an actual mortgage. But if you really want to travel, if you want to buy a car, you just have to maybe sacrifice one of those few things, my friends, which is what I actually personally did. So for 10 months, I reduced my investing costs significantly. So currently towards my investments, I'm actually putting round about £500 every single month towards investing costs, aka my investments. But I used to do £50 a month because I was focusing, for 10 months, I was focusing on buying the car, which I managed to do in 10 months because I was working 2 jobs and I was working a lot of hours. And now if I want to get a holiday, I'd probably do, my investing costs are the same, but I would reduce some of the other factors like the savings or the fund money for a month or two to be able to build up the money to be able to go traveling if I wanted to. And it's just being able to have that flexible plan like that. And this is my own adapted framework that I've developed, personally really helped me. In my online community, it's actually there as well into the course that you get free included. The course itself is actually worth $157 because I put so many hours of work into it, but you actually get it free of charge when you guys sign up towards the online community. Plus there's an investing challenge as well and a lot more benefits that I really think you enjoy, my friends. So if you're curious at all and want to check it out, the link is down below.
You should spend your money aggressively when you're young. If you're watching this and you're in your early 20s, hopefully you assume that every couple years that you're working, you're going to get pay raises, you're going to make more money, you're going to become more successful. So the $3 per day you spend on coffee that could go towards a 401k is inconsequential in 10 years when you're making 10 times as much money. When I say spend your money aggressively, I don't mean go out and buy materialistic things for thousands of dollars and waste it all. I'm saying if your friends invite you out to a dinner or a night out or a trip, just say yes without hesitating, no matter what it costs. Pay the money. It'll come back to you later. Same thing with staying in to cook dinner to save the extra $7 you would have spent out at a restaurant, or saving $3 on coffee by brewing it at home instead of going to Starbucks. Stop wasting the mental energy. Just go out and spend the money. You're not even going to notice it on your credit card statement anyways. Yeah, you could max out your Roth IRA this month, or you could go make a shit ton of memories with your best friends while you're still in your 20s and worry about the money later when you're more successful. Money comes back. Your youth and making memories with your best friends never comes back. Enjoy your life while you're young. Spend the money.
Now, credit where credit's due. If you look at the actual graph right now that I'm about to show you, my friends, the weekly wage versus inflation since 2000, I mean, it says inflation, it's actually the consumer price index, which is a tracker of inflation. It's not actually inflation, but it's a tracker that measures inflation. So they're not exactly the same, but still. Basically, you can see it over time, the change in price of goods and services sold over the period of time. The change in price of goods and services over a period of time has increased, but as we can see, the weekly average wages has increased more and is higher than the CPI, which is obviously good. And I fully agree we should definitely make memories, and I fully agree that we need to enjoy our youth because you never know, you could die. However, the problem is this: inflation exists. we can't avoid it. And we're going to get old, and it's inevitable that eventually our looks will disappear, we'll get uglier, our bones and our mobility will reduce, and we won't be able to work as much in general. And we will need money at that time, if you live at that time, to be able to support you. So therefore, it's all good to say you can make memories now, which, by the way, you can, even if you invest. You just need decent planning. But I feel this guy, when he talks, I don't think he mentioned the word inflation once. And that is literally the most important key thing in all of this. Because yeah, you know, you could buy a $3 cup of coffee and stuff like this. The whole point isn't the $3. And 100% you get paid more in the future, but inflation will increase in the future as well. So therefore, you need to be prepared for when that happens. I completely disagree with this guy, although I understand his points and I get it. It's a necessity to plan for the future and to actually understand about investing. Whether you invest into mutual funds, ETFs, whatever the hell you invest in, or property or commodities, whatever it is, something else, you need to invest in something that's going to grow the amount that you've invested in over time. I mean, that is literally what an investment is. Let's have a look at the comments though, because it's really interesting. Zoe says, good idea, I'll go buy a BMW. Zoe, please don't. If you don't have the money, please don't do that, mate. This is why our whole generation is like, I'm drowning in debt. Chris very rightfully says, compound interest, the eighth wonder of the world, as Warren Buffett says. 100% agree with it. Honestly, the thing is, my friends, is compound interest. When people say compound interest, they think about money. It's not just with money. It's with your physique in terms of gym. It's with your knowledge, even in terms of business, like the videos I'm publishing right now. It's all about compounding. The more you do of something, eventually in time, it's going to compound towards your advantage. And equally on top of that, the more you don't do of something, it's going to compound negatively towards your advantage. If you don't go to the gym, if you don't do that task, if you don't ask that go out, if you don't do enough reps, over time, that's going to negatively compound against you in lack of confidence, lack of self-belief as a man, compared to the opposite. If you do more of it, you will have more confidence, you will grow, and you will feel better and become more experienced and just a better overall version of yourself over time. So it's really a choice which one of those you want to be, because the options are literally present for you. That it's not like they're not there. You just need to learn and understand it. Again, this is one of the main reasons I made my online community, because I want to be able to help and educate men in regards to investing, which is why I made the fun challenges and I spent 30, 40 plus hours on this course that I made in there to give to them for literally for free, because I want to provide them more insights into this, and because I feel a group of men together solidifying all their knowledge and again compounding all of their mistakes that they've made together will help the whole community in general grow while minimizing the efforts. So again, my friends, I do genuinely think you'd like the community. I wouldn't preach it if I don't think it will help you. And I know, of course, I'm biased because I made it, but I made it for a reason, because I feel it can help you. It's also a reason I've made it super affordable for all men to access, and not to mention you get a free trial, so if you don't like it, you can leave. Moose says, and this is a very interesting comment, listen very closely, my friends, bro's spitting facts. Money is cyclical, but time is linear. You can never get your time back. Exactly, Moose. You can never get your time back. This is exactly the reason why you should understand investing, and whether that again is in property or at different assets, whatever, in stocks, shares, mutual funds, ETFs, whatever it is. This is why it's so important, because the earlier you start, literally the earlier you start, the better and more time you have for the assets to compound significantly more over a period of time. That's the whole point. Whereas if you don't, again, if you start later on, you will have significantly less. Just look at this example, my friend. If you start investing at 25, given a retirement age of 66 in the UK, which is the state pension age, that gives you 41 years of investing. Based on speculation, your average future value would be 352k. But if you waited just for 10 years and started at 35, this is both based on investing into index funds that generate a nominal rate of return of around 10%. But the difference here, my friend, is just 10 years. But that 10 years gives you almost a third less than what you would have. And that's just because of 10 years for doing exactly the same thing. And the longer you leave it, the bigger the difference gets. So I personally know what side I'd want to be on. Again, it's all down to choices. So it's up to you which choice you want to make. If you found this video helpful or enjoyed it, my friends, check out the link below to get even more value. And remember, I don't just make these videos for you, I make them with you as well. So please do let me know if there's anything financially wild or anything that you'd want to see me cover. Just comment it down in the comments below. I reply to every single one, and who knows, you just might get featured and help shape up the next video, my friends. YouTube thinks you like one of these two videos over here. Click one, and I'll see you over there, my friends.